Hey there, Marble Slab trainees. Welcome to Marble Slab Creamery Training. We have started to do a little orientation via Zoom, YouTube videos, and the point of this is to obviously give you more tools, more structure, so you are more successful, and just make it a little easier, kind of onboarding and understanding what you need to do in the store. We always felt in years past that obviously training is the most important thing that we can do. Also with that is development of you guys. We understand that the better you are, the better the business performs. So we really want to, really invest in this training program, and hopefully you will reap the rewards of that as well. First, want to kind of talk about expectations. Communication, things that are really important to us. There's three owners. There's myself. My name is Ryan. Hello. There's Glenn Lax and Lane Griffith. We are, Lane's my brother and Glenn's my best friend growing up. And, we're a tight-knit group. We've been doing this for 20 years, and we really do care. We 20 years later, we're still working, 50, 60 hours in the week, in the store a week. And, that's kind of why we stood the test of time, because we really do care. We also care about you. We want you guys to be happy and to really enjoy working at this lab. We also feel like it's important that we teach you a meaningful work ethic, because when you leave here, we want to obviously be the building block for your future careers. And we hope that you look back on the time at this lab and say, hey, I took a lot from that. And that means a lot to us. Some of the big expectations that we have are, being sure that you openly communicate with us. If you ever need anything, just so you know, it's an open door policy. And we can only make changes, make decisions based on you communicating with us. We can't fix something, we can't adjust something if we don't know. So again, it's very important that you have open communication, and the same with us. Just so you know, our kind of communication style is we're going to sit down and talk to you about it, or we're going to talk to you on the phone about it. We're not going to send text messages. That's an important information, because we feel like important information is done verbally, and we'll have those conversations when we need to. That's positive, that's neutral, just information, and that's just things that you need to work on. Just so you know, if there's things that you need to work on, those are positive conversations, because if we don't have those conversations, you don't know, and we want you guys to have more responsibility in the store, make more money. We want to develop you to the best you can be, and the only way we can do that is to give you feedback. And I just don't ever want you to feel like it's negative. We always look at it as an opportunity to be better, and that goes not only for you guys, that goes for the managers, and that goes on for me, Glenn and Lane as well. We're constantly trying to evolve and be better at what we do. Just so you know, we are a very small business. We have 6 locations in the Carolinas. We know our workers. We work shoulder to shoulder with our workers. We are a team, and you're not a number in the system. You are the front door of the business. You serve our customers, and without you and our customers, we don't have a job. So you are vital, and we understand that. Just some information, just kind of wanted to share. Marble Slab Creamery, we're a franchise. So what that means is, each individual location is owner operated. There's probably 300 locations throughout the country. They also have some locations internationally as well. We have 6 locations in the Carolinas. We're in Asheville, Charlotte, North Carolina, and then Greenville in Columbia, South Carolina. Marble Slab is the first franchise to kind of mix the toppings and the ice cream on the slab. It started in 1982. It was like a family-owned person bought the business, and the idea was, hey, I'm going to franchise this out. and it's gotten to be extremely popular over the years. We do get some identity confusion with us and Cold Stone, and a lot of times people come in, are you guys Cold Stone? Obviously, no. I mean, they're two separate companies. Obviously, we kind of do something very similar, but there are some differences. The quality of the dairy, the milk that we put in is a difference. The store decor is totally different. Actually, Cold Stone opened in 1986, actually 96. They actually went through marble slab training and kind of ripped off the ideas and started Cold Stone, which is pretty brilliant, if you ask me. Just so you know, we make all the ice cream fresh in the store. We make all the cones in the store as well. We're very, it's very important to us that the quality of the product, and we like to make things from scratch. We believe that it does taste better, and there's greater value to the customers. Our mix that we get from the dairy is basically cream, milk, and sugar. It is a super premium product. There are no artificial preservatives in there. So that's why it has a shelf life. It's dairy, but that's why it tastes so good. It's a 14% butter fat. That's what kind of gives you that creamy, rich flavor, and that's why it tastes so great. Just so you know, obviously we are a part of a franchise. We do have a corporate entity that is over all the stores. They do pop in from time to time. But for us, we run our stores to our standard, and we feel our standard is higher than the corporate standard, just because we're motivated for being successful because it's ours, and that's why we strive for the best. And just so you know, from kind of your expectation standpoint, it's up to you to be successful. We're going to give you every tool in our toolkit for you to be the best you can be. And obviously, it really depends on you. We have a lot of tools in place, a lot of sheets, and those are for controls. There's the weigh-in sheets, there's the shift responsibility sheets, the staff responsibility sheet. We have closing sheets, pre-opening sheets, and those that really take special detailed notice to make sure that everything is right are the staff members that will be successful, will get promoted, will get paid more money. And it's really up to you to say, hey, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it right. There's one thing initialing a sheet, you say you did it. There's another doing it and then initialing because you did it. And obviously the latter is what we're looking for. Just so you know, our stores are busy. Several of our stores in the top 10 in the country. We want to set that expectation for you that we are going to be busy. This isn't a laid-back job. We're not lifeguards at a pool that's sitting in a lifeguard chair. We are constantly doing something. The store can't be clean enough. We make all the product in the store. We want to give great service to the customer. So it is you're on your feet all day long. But it's very rewarding at the same time. You have three main priorities in the store. The first is, when you start, is serving customers. That's our number one priority when you're brand new. If there's somebody in line, serve them. Next man up, serve them. Next woman up, serve them. Two is keeping the store clean. In between customers, there's not a customer. We wipe down the counters, cabinets, tables, anything and everything. And then number three is you'll start learning production items, cutting strawberries, dipping waffle bowls, and things like that. But just so you know, the order of importance is customers come first, cleaning comes second, and then three is any production items. So if you are doing a production item, you have customers come to the store, you need to drop it and serve that customer. They come first. And before you go back to that production item, you need to clean, just because, part of good customer service is the store being clean. It's very critical all our procedural tools are being filled out correctly. I kind of talked about that earlier about our sheets. We need to fill those out after they're completed. At the end of the shift, don't just initial straight on a sheet. That's not doing them. You're just initialing. We have to actually read them, do the task, and then initial. And that's how you be successful. It's the details that matter. We have a new sheet that we have out behind the counter. It's called the staff responsibility sheet. It is basically a checklist system where you're restocking product, you're cleaning countertops, you're restocking ice cream, restocking toppings on the slab. That sheet needs to be constantly filled out during your shift. We did that because in initial trainings years ago, we would train people to serve behind the counter, and when there were no customers, they just kind of froze. They didn't know what to do. And it wasn't their fault, it was our fault because we didn't give them enough guidance and we didn't train them well. So we have this sheet in place. So it's real important that you make sure you put it on the counter and it's a reference guide for you to obviously fill it out as you go. You'll see the staff responsibility sheet when you kind of go through your first day of training. You'll learn what that is. The second sheet is your weigh-in sheet. It's a laminated sheet that after you've kind of worked your 5 days of training, you'll each day you come in, you're going to weigh a kid's a small and a regular. And the idea of it is, say you work only a day or two a week, maybe 3 days, it's to get you honed in to what the actual size is supposed to be. We don't weigh every ice cream to hand to the customer. We just kind of, before your shift, we're going to weigh one. You can get the visual what it looks like, and then that's what we serve the customer. Again, the point of it is to obviously control the portion size. We never want to give too much to a customer because, well, obviously we're losing money because we're giving away too much for free. And then we also don't want to give away too little to the customer because then they're paying, $5 or something that doesn't have the value because it's only half the portion size. So it's real important that we have a consistent portion that we give somebody. So what you do is you actually weigh, you'll use a scoop and spade, you'll scoop the ice cream, you'll actually weigh it and put it on a scale to see what the weight is. And the point of it is to actually get a visualization to what the weight is. And then that's how you know how much to give. And you'll just learn that by doing it over and over and over again. And I'm sure the first time you see it, you're like, what the heck is this guy talking about? But you will learn at some point to be able to look at an ice cream and you'll know the weight, what it is, because you scoop it all day long. The biggest thing I suggest is every time you hand a customer an ice cream, just take a look at it real second. Take a middle note. Does this look right? If it's too big, it should slightly mound over the cup. But if it's too big, you need to make a middle note. I need to make my next one a little smaller. Now, if it's not mounded over at all, then just go back to the dipping cabinet and put a little more ice cream on top. Because again, we're trying to get that constant size to that customer. It's really important. They're also on your dipping cabinets. There's probably a guide that has a couple pictures of scoops of ice cream, and one's it shows it's too big, and one's just right, and you'll be able to see it. We have 3 big rules in the store. We're obviously a pretty laid-back group, but there's 3 resounding rules that we've always had. Be at work 10 minutes early. We just like, if you show up at work right when you're supposed to work, you're obviously late because you have to get ready. So we like the 10 minutes early. It's a good way for us to catch up with you, see how things are going in life. We can kind of, get you on board with some new information that might be going on in the store. Also, you might have to, go use the restroom, change, or whatever you may personally need to do. That gives you that 10-minute buffer. If you're ever running late, just call the store and go, hey, I'm running a few minutes late. Not a big deal. But we do like the 10 minutes early. Secondly is, it's real important that we trust. There's that trust level between both of us. You need to trust your owners and your managers. And at the same time, we need to trust you guys. And we can't, you can't discount or give away any ice cream to your friends or family at any time. It's a zero tolerance for that, because once that happens, the trust is gone. And if you have friends that try to put you up to it, one, they're not really good friends of yours, and they're not going to like you or dislike you anymore, any less if you do it or not. But just know we do watch. We have little telltale signs to catch people doing something like that. We just ask, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth getting fired over something that's, $3 or $4. So, and it's not good on our end either. We don't want to do that to you as well. So just don't put us in that position. And then lastly, it's very important, when the schedule's made, it's up. It's at that point when shifts are given out, it's your responsibility. So if you have, if grandma comes into town, you win Britney Spears tickets, you want to switch shifts with somebody, you can do that. You just have to do it on your end. If you're sick, get your shift covered. All those things, you have to get your shift covered. It's not our responsibility to get your shift covered because we have too much going on. That's myself and all the managers. We just don't have the time for it. So you'll be on GroupMe. It's our app that it's a communication app that the staff has. Obviously if you need someone to pick up your shift, post it. If you're ever having trouble getting someone to get it covered, at that point, notify your manager and just be like, hey, I'm having a tough time getting my shift covered. What should I do? And then at that time, we'll help you, assist you in that. We just want you guys to do the legwork on the front end, and then we can help you later if needed. It's very important that if you do give away a shift or pick up a shift, you need to communicate that to the manager. We need to know who's supposed to be at work. And switching with somebody and not telling the manager is not gonna, it's unacceptable for us. We need to know. So, on GroupMe, message the manager, say, hey, Timmy's picking up my shift for tomorrow night. Okay, and then Timmy should be, hey, I'm picking up Billy's shift for tomorrow night. So we just need to be fully communicative to the manager so we know. Something else is very important. We obviously want you to enjoy the job. Nobody likes to go to work if they don't enjoy it. So, the cool thing about working at this lab is, you're gonna be around good people. We don't employ bad people. We're very flexible in your schedule. It's another positive. Depending on how much you want to work, how little you want to work, we're very flexible. We want you to engage with the customers, have fun, talk to customers when you're serving them. Because the more you engage, the more you're going to enjoy it, and then you're going to be rewarded with it. The more you communicate with customers, they're going to give you, more tips, and obviously more tips is better for everybody. Again, I want to talk about open communication. Please communicate if you ever need anything. Can't stress that enough. Just have that communication. Whatever it may be, just let us know. And if it needs to be private, it'll be kept private. But two, whatever you need, just so you know we're there for you. Mistakes will happen, and, all we'll ask is to fix them. Just fix them. That's all we care about. We always want to move forward. We don't want to look in the past. Customer service. This is the main, most important thing that we have. Obviously, without customers, none of us have a job. This is the lifeblood of our business. Ice cream is not a necessity of life. You don't have to have it. So when people do come in to our business, they elect to come into our business, not because they're hungry, it's because they're treating themselves. You could have a bad experience at Wendy's. The customer was rude, the employee was rude to you. You're probably gonna go back because you're hungry. If you have a bad experience at ice cream, there's no reason to go back. And now we live in the day of social media where they'll blast you on Instagram, Facebook, they'll get on Yelp and Google, and what's gonna happen is they're not gonna tell an accurate story. They're going to, make it look 20 times worse, throw everybody on the bus, saying, we're the worst people on earth, and that's the way it goes. And it's really hurtful to a business to get a negative review like that. And a lot of times when, we provide good service, it's easy. And when bad service happens, it was easily to be avoided, and we just screwed up on our end. And we'll talk in length about, you know, how do we do the little things so that customer doesn't have that bad experience. And I'll be honest, you don't want to deal with that angry customer. I don't want to deal with them, and it could all have been avoided. And there's nothing more rewarding than having a great experience. And you know, you'll see regulars come in the store, they get the same thing. You'll recognize them, you get to know their name. It's really cool, and you'll meet them too. You know, treat everyone like it's your grandmother. Pretty simple, right? You know, it starts with a great greeting, a welcoming greeting into the store. Hey, how you doing today? With some energy, and you know, there's something to that you're making them feel like we're excited you came in the door. And I guarantee you 99% of all unpleasant experiences could have been avoided if we gave a great greeting. Also, acknowledging customers in line. Hey, I'll be right with you. People are patient when you acknowledge them in line. They're very impatient when they feel ignored. I know personally, I've walked out of a lot of businesses because I felt like the server was going slow. I'm not acknowledged. I don't feel valued. Why do I want to stay there? You know, so I leave. You know, it all could have been avoided. I would have stayed if I gotten a greeting. Hey, I'll be right with you. I'm just finishing up these customers. You know, that's when great service happens, and that's when you get rewarded with tips. I do feel great service is two things. It's fast and friendly. You could move as fast as you want. You're like, you know, the Flash on DC Comics, but, you know, you're a jerk. Well, that's not good service. And you could be the most pleasant human being on earth and so bubbly and great personality, and you move like a turtle. Well, that didn't work either. So it's the combination of fast and friendly, and that's when great tips happen, and that's when great experiences happen. You can do both at the same time. And just so you know, it's not just not just the way we interact with customers is great service. It's also how the store looks. You know, are the countertops clean, cabinets cleaned, or is there trash piled up? Is there just, you know, stuff piled all over the counters? Is the front door dirty? Is there cups on the floor? I mean, all that makes a big difference. If you're a mom with a couple kids and you can't even sit down because the tables are dirty, or, you know, the countertops are dirty, I mean, that's not great service. That's my son Kai in the background.
Let me tell you something.
Can you hold on, buddy? Sorry about that. He's crazy. I apologize for that. But going back to the great customer service, it's engaging the customers. Again, kind of talked about, you know, the greeting's the first important part. Second is acknowledging if people are waiting. You know, you can offer samples if they're not sure what they want. You can suggest certain flavors, you know, and then if they do have a flavor, you can suggest certain toppings that go with that flavor. Again, you're creating dialogue, and it's real important. You know, you really need to make sure that we're telling, hey, toppings are free, which ones would you like? Because all our ice cream comes with toppings included. That's why we're called Marble Slab Creamery. We have toppings that we mix in from, you know, on the slab for free. It's important we say free or included. If you say, do you want a topping? Does that cost money? Do we know? And I'll be honest, this is a bad habit that most of our staffs fall into. And we need to get out of that habit. It is a simple thing to ask, hey, toppings are free, which ones do you like? We want little Timmy to get sprinkles and gummy bears. That makes a great experience. That gives value. Because if you go to those yogurt places, I don't know if you've all been, you get about 4 or 5 toppings in it. That yogurt's $9. You're like, what the heck happened? Well, this, you know, we have one price, and you get whatever you want in it. And I think that's what's pretty excellent. But again, it's the way we communicate it. And we need to say, hey, toppings are free, toppings are included. What would you like? That's important. We also have, right now, we have cups and waffle bowls. Due to COVID, we don't carry the dip cones in most stores. A couple stores do. But you can suggest of those. Hey, would you like one of our dip cones, cups, or waffle bowls? Again, we're creating dialogue. Informing customer our loyalty program. Our loyalty program is awesome. Once they enter their phone number or they sign up on the app, they get a free ice cream. It also sends you birthday ice creams, anniversaries of you signing up ice cream. It's real important that we get their information to kind of create that loyalty through our loyalty program. And you'll be trained on how to do that. And then lastly, it's giving them a great, hey, thank you for coming in. Hope to see you soon. If a customer says thank you, don't say you're welcome. Just say, hey, thank you for coming in today. Hope to see you soon. I mean, that's great service. And, going even a step further, when you're serving a customer, kind of create that engagement. You see a little kid with his parents. Like, hey, buddy, how old are you? Oh, man, you're cute. Talking to that child is huge. And parents notice that stuff. And that's where they give you some tips. For you girls out there, if you like how someone's dressed, hey, like, cute, oh, look at you, I love your handbag. Say something. Guys out there, if you see that someone's wearing if you're a Clemson Tiger fan and they're wearing a, Clemson shirt, like, go Tigers. Whatever we can do to kind of make it personal, makes a big difference. And that's why customers want to come back. Did want to kind of talk about, obviously I've kind of given you some helpful hints on how to kind of create a great customer experience. Obviously, we do deal with the unhappy customer every once in a while. And generally they are unhappy before they come in the door. And it's not our fault more times than not. And, they could be having a bad day, angry at life, whatever, and they're like, I'm going to take it out on the ice cream kid. And, it's unfortunate, but sometimes we have to deal with it. It happens very seldom. But if something does happen, here's some helpful hints on how to kind of navigate that. First, if someone's upset, just listen. Nod your head. Say, I'm sorry. I understand. Just let them talk. And let them talk till they're finished. And what we don't want to do is offer excuses, because that's going to happen is it's going to create that 1-minute conversation and it's going to turn into 5 minutes, because you're trying to make your point, make excuses. Just don't do it. It's not going to help. Frankly, they don't care. They don't care that, their ice cream's not right. They're not happy about it. They don't care what the reason is. If we need to make them a new ice cream, that's fine. If we need to refund them an ice cream, that's fine. Get your shift leader. We obviously want to make that customer happy, and we'll do whatever we can to make them happy. If you feel like it's a major issue, just be like, ma'am, I'm really sorry. I think, my manager should kind of talk to you about this, and, he'll make it right. And then take down their information, and then, that's our responsibility at that point to call them and make it right. And then again, I'm so sorry this happened. Again, say you saw it like 100 times. Things that we never want to do. We never want to, we don't want to ever refund any money unless the customer was just served. If they come in after the fact and they make up some crazy concoction story, we don't want to hand out any money. There are some scams out there. If you ever feel like you're in that situation, call your manager or call one of the owners and see what you need to do. They'll even find out our name and they'll say, hey, so-and-so told me you give us a refund. Don't ever hand out money if we don't know it's a legitimate excuse. But you'll be fine, and we'll train you through this process again. Dress code. Kind of want to talk about what the dress code is in the store. It's obviously jeans, khaki pants, khaki shorts. You can wear solid color shorts if you'd like. You'll be given a marble slab shirt. Aprons must be worn. Ideally, you'll tuck your shirt in and then wear your apron. Obviously, it looks more professional. Girls with long hair need to have their hair tied back. Guys with long hair need to have your hair tied back. No fake nails. We've had nails fall off and get in the ice cream before. It's gross. We wear deodorant. Unfortunately, we've had to tell people, dude, you stink. That's not a fun conversation. No non-Marble Slab apparel can be worn. What that means, no sweatshirts, no hoodies, no hats that aren't Marble Slab. If you want a hat, we'll get you a Marble Slab hat. You need closed-toed shoes. That's health code regulation. They also need to have a rubber sole, so they're they're slip resistant. Now you might want to wear cute shoes. Well, if you fall, the liability is on us. So it's real important that you wear rubber, good shoes to walk on, slip resistant. The uniform policy is something that is taken advantage of. It's also personal to me. I want everyone looking their best because I think being professional means a lot, and you get rewarded for being professional with more tips. Look at Chick-fil-A. Do you ever see anyone working at Chick-fil-A look sloppy? Ever? Have you ever seen someone give bad service at Chick-fil-A? It never happens. I mean, it's consistently perfect every time. And that's why we need to look the part. Kind of going over schedules. What we use the GroupMe app. We'll usually send the schedule out for the following week on Thursday or Friday. So what that means is in every store there's probably a request off book. Now I think Columbia uses an app, so it's totally different there. So obviously just go whatever they say over there. But obviously if you need your schedule request in, you need to do that before that Thursday, before that following week, and we'll take care of it. Obviously, if there's a lot of people asking off on a particular day, we're going to give the first several. Obviously, you're going to get off, but if you're number 9 on asking off, we can't promise anything at that point. So if you do know you need some time off in the next couple months, just go ahead and put your name in the book and request off, so you have a better chance of getting off. We send out our paychecks. They're bi-monthly. Usually get them on the 15th and the last day of the month. Now for the pay periods, the 1st to the 15th, you'll get paid on the last day of the month. And the pay periods 16th to the 31st or the 30th, you'll get paid on the 15th. So we did every 2 weeks. We do have on-call shifts. So if there is ever on the schedule, see on-call, what that means is, it means be prepared to work. We'll let you know that morning or at least early afternoon if you need to work. Just be prepared. And it could be a lot of reasons. Different times of the year, the weather's very unpredictable. I mean, especially in the spring and the fall, it could be 45, it could be 80. And we just need to be prepared, to handle those types of businesses. Phone call, texting, policy in the store. All phones should be kept out of sight in the back of the store, and they should never be used behind the counter, ever. If you need to call or text anybody, just tell your shift leader. And please don't abuse this. If you ever are down in the kitchen texting all the time, that is going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a problem with the other shift leaders. And it's gotten to the point where sometimes I've banned phones from being in the store because somebody can't control themselves. And don't put me through that situation, or your manager through that situation, or even your coworker. It's not fair if someone's out there serving and you're in the back texting, LOL and all that BS. So please don't put us in that position. We're here to work. I talked a little bit about our open door policy. If you ever need anything, please contact us, the managers, the owners, before 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock is kind of our off work. We're at home with our families or friends time. Just so you know, I'm not going to ever contact somebody at 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock at night, because it's important that you have some away time too from work. I just ask that is be done in return. I don't need a 9 o'clock text message. I need to get my shift covered for next Thursday, Saturday, because then I'm dealing with work at home, and I don't like that. And please, you also have that GroupMe app. I would please ask not to use that after 10:30 at night, because what happens is, a lot of times there's notifications, and no one needs to be texting that stuff at 1 in the morning, and it basically can wake somebody up. So please do that in normal hours as well. The next thing you'll be kind of going over on your first day is we're going to actually give you a tour of the kitchen. What's in our freezers, what freezers do you use, the large pans, small pans, where to find them in the freezer, how it's labeled, how it's dated, positioning, all that type stuff. We'll also go what's in the refrigerator, our mix for the ice cream, shake mix, backup, cookie dough, Reese's Cups, Snickers, shake, all that type stuff is in there too. So we'll go over that. We'll also go over stock items. Where to restock the mix-ins, how to do that. It's very important. Then we'll go over the 3-compartment sink. If you have not watched how to wash dishes properly video, watch it again. It's probably one of the most important videos to me. Doing something timely and efficiently is so critical. We want you to be able to wash dishes in 10 minutes, not in 30. And a lot of it is how you're washing dishes. And everybody's thinking, well, I know how to wash a dish. Well, trust me, you'd be surprised. So watch the video. There's a right way to do it. And everything we do in the store, there's a system to it. And it's our job as owners and managers to provide a system so you can be successful. And the system is how to make it efficient. So again, watch that video. Also during the training, they're going to tell you how to fill it up properly, how much soap to put in, how much bleach to put in the sanitizer, when to wash dishes, all that type of stuff. Not to stack wet dishes. So you'll learn all that stuff during training. After you're done with the kitchen, you'll kind of go up to the service area. You'll look at the stock levels, how to restock cups on the counter, how to restock ice cream in the cake, in the dipping cabinet. You also learn about our front refrigerator. We call it the BevAir. So if you're here slang BevAir, that's what that is, their front refrigerator. Where to find everything on that. Inside, again, we need to keep it immaculate. This is the area we make shakes and malts, so it gets messy, but we need to constantly be wiping that thing down. Generally, just rule of thumb, the slab area and the BevAir, it needs to be wiped down every 5 minutes when we have customers. When we're decently busy, every 5 minutes needs to be wiped down. We'll go through all the cabinets to show you where everything's located, so hey, if you're out of quart cups, where do you go get them? You're out of all that stuff. We'll go over all that type of stuff. Next, you'll kind of learn, our cups. Which product goes in which cup. Obviously, that's important, right? Someone orders a size, you need to know what cup to give them. We also talk about the child side policy, and this is real important. Who can get the child, who can't. Corporate rules state if you're under 12, you are allowed to get a child size, but if you're over 12, you're not, which we don't agree with, because we're big believers. If you want something, we should be able to give it to you. So the terminology we want is, if a customer, no matter what age they want, if they want, hey, I want the kid size, the child size, we give it to you, because you named it by name. Now, if they say, hey, I want the small, I want the itty bitty, teeny weeny, smallest thing you got, 1 scoop, 1 dip, whatever, anything else, we're going to give you the small at that point. You have to say kid size to get kid size, okay? Now, when you go to McDonald's and order a small value meal, if you're an adult, you're your age, you don't expect the Happy Meal, right? You're expecting the small. So it's real important. Now, it's also important to note, you can assume, little Timmy's 4 years old, he's with his parents. We need to assume he probably wants a child size. Now, the only time I offer them the choice between a child and a small is, I don't know how old they are. They're in that 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old. I'm going to say, hey, hey, you want a kid size or a small? After that, if I obviously know they're over 12, I do not offer them the child size. I first ask, hey, do you want a regular? Because that keeps it simple. And if they say, no, I want the smallest you got, then I'm gonna give them the small. Just keep it simple. Again, I'm not trying to overload you with too much information. I want to keep this thing as simple as possible. So we're gonna go over all the cups. You know, what goes in which cup. Again, all the ice cream comes with toppings for free. Whatever you want, we put it in the cup, okay? It is important to note if you ever want hot fudge or caramel on top of the ice cream, I always bump it up a cup size, because if you try to put hot fudge on a small cup, it'll go everywhere. But I also note to the customer, hey, sir, just so you know, I'm gonna put in a larger cup so you don't get a mess, and they appreciate that. You know, do want to point out the unlimited toppings technically aren't unlimited. Obviously, we can give you whatever toppings you want for free, but it's got to fit in the cup size. So if you ordered a small and you put 30 toppings in it, it's not going to fit in the small anymore. So every once in a while, you'll have a customer that wants to get like 6 or 7 toppings. It doesn't happen very often. At that point, I'll say, hey, sir, just so you know, usually it's a kid, but I'll say, hey, kid, just so you know, this won't fit in a small. You know, if you get this many toppings, you're gonna have to pay for a regular. Is that okay? And generally they're fine. But again, it goes back to that kind of communication. You'll learn about your pints and quarts. You know, we actually pre-fill those first, just so we know how much ice cream we need, and then we actually take the quart full of ice cream to the slab. We take the ice cream out, we mix it, and put it back in the same quart cup. And the reason we do that is we know how much ice cream we need. All our other sizes, the kids, the small, the regular, and large, we actually scoop it and carry it to the slab. It's on muscle memory. You'll learn about making sundaes, fudge brownie delights. You know, you're going to learn you can see all the videos on how to make those online on YouTube, and you'll see those before you come in. But the one way you're going to really learn to make it is actually by doing it. And you know, generally your first 5 shifts you'll be working with somebody and you'll make all these products. But just kind of give a highlight on the quick takeaways on how to make it and keep it simple. Sundaes are simple. You know, what flavor do you want? Hot fudge or caramel, whipped cream, nuts, and cherry. Ask all the questions up front so you know exactly where to go. Very simple. The difference between a small sundae and a fudge brownie delight is the brownie. So same amount of ice cream, brownie, hot fudge, whipped cream, nuts, and cherry, pretty simple. Strawberry shortcake, same size, and all these are small ice creams. You know, some people think the small sundae, fudge brownie delight, and strawberry shortcakes are a lot more ice cream. They're the same amount, same as small. It's the smallest portion of ice cream. Strawberry shortcake is simple. You know, you get 4 pieces of yellow cake, your small portion of ice cream. You get 2 scoops of strawberry topping, if they want whipped cream on top. Simple. And again, you'll learn how you make it. Banana split, simple. Again, get 3 flavors of ice cream. You can obviously cut the banana and put it on both sides. Comes with 3 toppings. We have hot fudge caramel. We have any toppings by the slab. Then get whatever 3 they want. And then whipped cream, nuts, and cherry. Again, simple. How to make a shake. Watch those videos. Again, it's real simple. You pour your shake mix, your ice cream, blend it up, boom. But it's real important that we get the right portion amount. And you know, watch those videos so we can get it dialed into that. We want to make sure once we pour that shake that there's barely anything left in that shake cup when you're done. And if you see that you're constantly having too much, you need to back it down a little bit. Some stores do smoothies, some don't. Obviously, you know, watch the smoothie videos. If you're a smoothie store, you'll learn that. Basically, the Columbia stores in Charlotte are smoothies. The Asheville and Greenville are not. Floats are real easy. You know, it's 2 4-ounce balls of ice cream, and then if you want Coke, beer, Root, or Crush, or whatever drink you want, be sure to give them the cup of ice cream and the drink, and then also the leftover in the other drink. What are we gonna do with a half a thing of Coke? So we don't need that. Waffle cones, we make all the waffle cones fresh in the store. I mean, they're fantastic. And just so you know, they're free to customers, so this is a good value. Most places charge for a waffle cone. We do not. Again, right now with COVID and everything going on, I think we have 2 stores that serve cones, the others don't. And you'll kind of, you know, once you go through your initial training day, you'll kind of figure that out, and we'll help you through the cone section. We do have the waffle bowls and the dip waffle bowls. You know, a lot of the questions you get, well, do you have a kid's size waffle bowl? Do you have a, just so you know, we have one size waffle bowl. We can put whatever menu item in that. Kids, small, regular, large. We can put a small sundae in that. So it's just so you know, it's an add-on. That's another question you get a lot with cones. Well, you have a kid-size dipped Heath Bar cone? No, we can put the kid-size portion in the Heath Bar cone. And it's important to note that to customers so they know it. And you know, if you just say no, then they obviously won't order it. The next thing you're going to do is you're actually going to review the menu board with your manager, and they'll kind of go over you know, where to find all the menu items, the price, and how it all works. And that's real important to you to see how it all works up there so you get a better understanding. Ice cream cakes. This is obviously a very important section. Just so you know, an ice cream cake is important to a customer because it's usually a celebration for someone's birthday or another special event. So we don't want to screw this thing up. So it's very important. A couple things to note. We have the cake display that has probably, you know, 6 to 10 different kinds of cakes depending on the store. If someone needs a cake, you know, comes in, they need one right away, they can obviously take any of the cakes that aren't reserved for anybody, and then we can write something on them right then on the spot. And we do get a lot of customers that do that. If they do want a specialty cake, it is a 2-day notice, or ask your manager, is there any way we can, you know, get this cake done by tomorrow? But technically, it's gonna be a 2-day notice. You know, the worst thing you can do is take a cake order, and then the day that's due, we don't have somebody in the store that can decorate the cake. And then you've ruined, not you, but we've ruined that event. And there's nothing worse than that. So be sure we're following these rules. We have 3 different sizes. We have a small round that serves 4 to 6. We have a medium round that feeds 8 to 10, and then we have a sheet cake that feeds 15 to 20. All our cakes have